Happy? Good. With Chris Locke.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Happy Good with Chris Locke. That's me, your host, Chris Locke. And it's episode 7. 7 episodes so far, and we're doing great. You guys are really supportive and checking out the podcast and saying such positive things, positive reviews on iTunes, subscribers on Patreon, retweets, mentioning on Instagram. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for checking it out and taking the time to listen, and hopefully this podcast finds you relaxing as you listen and also laughing and having a good time and going on a little bit of adventure, right? And I'm recording this podcast during a really hard time. I mean, come on. If you're following the news right now, who's not? The news is in your face. I'm spending so much time scrolling through my phone looking at the news right now that when I finally put my phone down and I look at my family, I have to spin a totem on a wooden kitchen table just to make sure I'm not still deep in Inception and I am actually experiencing real life. It's pretty trippy. It's a really dark place right now, and I find it's going to be a hard time to it's a really dark place right now, and I find it's going to be a hard time to do this podcast in general, and I feel like we should try to take some deep breaths together first, and then we will jettison from this hell planet. And you know that the planet itself is not actually hell, and the people are not actually hellion demons, but I'm using poetic license right now because emotions also dictate the way the world goes as well. So, anyways, where can we go from here? It's crazy. You want peace, you want love, you want understanding, you want hope, you want unity between all people. It's very hard right now. Right now, it feels like there are literally 2 different types of people on the planet. There's cool people that are kind and seek knowledge and wisdom and love and hope. And then there's the type of person that's like, I don't know, a shithead. So let's start by taking some deep breaths off the top. We're going to blow all this negative, dark news broadcast, social media insanity, all this emotional stuff that means so much to us. We got to take a break. We have to take a break. So let's blow that out. We're not even going to call it negativity right now because some of it is obviously very important. But we're going to take a break. So let's just start with a deep breath in. Hold it for a second. Really feel everything that you want to just let go of for just a half an hour. Breathe out. Let's just go to a new place for a bit. Let's take a break. Breathe in again. And out from the farthest reaches of your lungs. Just get all of that, all the paranoia, the fear, the anger, the hatred, the frustration, the bitterness, all out. Let's just twirl it up it's like we're spitting it into a giant stew, and we're stirring it with a giant ladle, and it's just mixing we're transforming it. It's like alchemy. We're transforming it into something else. We're turning it into not gold, but maybe we're taking all this darkness, this anger, frustration, terror, horror, and we're blowing it into the cauldron, and we're spinning it, and we're turning it, we're weaving it into some sort of golden light glow of hope, and peace, and civilization, humanity. I don't know what you want to call it. It's glowing though. Anyways, do you see it glowing? Wow. Glowing golden orbs Gee whiz, I wish there was a way I could breathe in and exhale, and then all my negativity became a giant glowing golden orb. Then I would have the gold. Then we'll see. Let's do one more breathe in and out. Ready? This is the last one that will finally take us to a new place for a break. A nice little relaxing break. Okay, here we go. Ready? In. Deep. Hold it for a second. Feel it in your lungs expanding, and out. Everything is clean right now. It's open. It's open for investigation. I think you feel clear, right? But how clear do you feel? You still feel those bumps and scrapes and bruises on your brain, in the inside of your skull? Imagine you could shrink yourself down into a miniature version of yourself. I know, on this podcast, I always go either miniature, and I say miniature weird, miniature? So there's people out there for sure that are like, it's miniature. I like pronouncing words exactly how I see it. Miniature. Yeah, you're either a miniature person on this podcast living in a raspberry, or you're like a giant mist that's expanded and either joined the sea or the sky and the clouds. There's something about being trapped in the body as it is that makes me feel stressed and anxious. But imagine you could be a miniature version of yourself, but then go into your own self, like Fantastic Voyage or something. Inner space, if you're a little kid like me in the 80s, and you can go into your mind, you go into your skull, and you're actually walking around on your brain, and you can do janitorial work in there, okay? You can actually see the bruises, and the throbbing pain, and anger, darkness, terror, frustration, sadness, hurt, and you start scrubbing away with like a giant, long, industrial broom with the hard bristles. You're just bristling a big industrial broom like this against your brain. Come on, out, damn spot. You know? Spraying little vinegar and water mix. Some glass cleaner. What else? Think of your favorite cleaners. Ooh, I wish I could just go into mine own skull and clean out the cracks and crevices of my rubbery brain pillows. The brain is a magnificent scientific invention, you have to admit. I don't know who invented the brain, but boyzo, did they have a pair of glasses on, and they were squinting while they were looking at it, and they held a light in one hand, and they had a little chiseling tool in the other hand, and their tongue was sticking out of their mouth while they bit down on their tongue in concentration. What are you doing down there in the basement, honey? I'm making a brain. It's hard. It's so complicated. A brain? Get upstairs. I made you a grilled cheese sandwich with a squirt of ketchup on the plate and a pickle, a frickin' dill pickle in the middle of the sandwich, your favorite. I'm making a brain, I said. It's hard. Well, making a grilled cheese sandwich is hard. It's not the same. Well, you don't think that what I do is hard work? Of course I know you work hard. Making a brain in your basement laboratory while your significant other is making you lunch. that is the metaphor for the whole world, in my opinion. It's complicated. I don't know if we'll ever be able to do it the right way. But even while we are trying to do everything the right way, someone's interjecting and making us feel guilty about not giving them what they feel like they deserve. It's hard. What am I supposed to balance over here? Am I supposed to concentrate and focus and make a damn brain that actually works once and for all? Or am I supposed to give up all my hard-earned energy for you to go up and marvel at a grilled cheese sandwich that sits on a plate? Wow, honey, this is great. You did the right. You made a great grilled cheese sandwich. I mean, of course it's important to be thankful and grateful to everything, but my God, I feel like we are balancing too many things here at once. What's to focus on? What's to, I really don't want this episode to be negative or dark, but my goodness, we have to take a break, don't we? It's really, the world is really intense right now. I wish I could just hold it like Galactus and then eat it, and then it would be gone. Sometimes I think that the answer for all of our problems these days would be like a giant creature coming and destroying everything. I don't know if this works for you guys, but sometimes what helps me feel positive and motivated in this world is if you're feeling run down by how a lot of humans behave and how we treat this planet, etc., and all the stuff that we don't need to rehash and go over, that Facebook and Twitter and the news tells us over and over again anyways. But if something devastating did happen to us as a civilization, and maybe the humans are gone, there's something weirdly hopeful about the idea of the planet regrowing and regrowth. I love it when I watch movies that take place far off into the future and plant growth, the vegetation has taken over cities again. For some reason, some of you might be listening and being like, that's morbid, dude. And you might be doing the hang loose symbol with your hand as you do it. That's morbid, dude. Dude, why do you say that? What about us? What about my sandwich time? I feel like human being sandwich time is very important. But I also, for some reason, yes, I'm admitting, it might be morbid, it might be dark, or it might be cynical, but there's something relaxing about thinking of all of this man-made construction and all of this, concrete that smothers the face of planet Earth. Like, let's be honest. If the Earth is a living, breathing organism, and we are growths itself off of the Earth, then we basically grew up to smother our mother's face with giant slabs of concrete and buildings and industry, and we're literally suffocating the planet. So there's something romantic to me, and yeah, you're like perverse, morbid, freak, whatever. There's something, if you agree with me, let me know on Twitter or Instagram. I mean, if it seems relevant with everything that's going on. But, oh, can you hear my stomach grumble? We need to eat cookies! There's something romantic about the natural aspects of planet Earth taking over again and shrugging us off like it was no big deal. Like how if something bad did happen, I don't want something bad to happen to the human race, but if something bad did happen to the human race, I would hope that at least the planet Earth would get to reset the way that it could be on its own with different vegetation and animals. Before the human race was even here, vegetation was ginormous. And even before the vegetation itself got ginormous, there were these crazy things on planet Earth that we never even knew existed, like giant fungi, kind of peaks that would go up like, over 2 stories high. And can you imagine giant like fungi tubes 2 stories high, surrounded by vegetation? Like, that is a romantic alien looking planet thing that was actually on planet Earth before we even got here, that we didn't get to enjoy. We just showed up and pulled out the bulldozers and went like, and like, beep beep beep, look out, hey, shut up you, hey, shut up you face, hey, we all disagree, all these giant trees and fungi and plants and vegetation and animals that are, just looking for a nut or a piece of chicken, whatever. They're just looking at us like, okay. Like, you might think that I'm crazy, but you can get the feeling sometimes that when you're walking in nature and you're walking around a pond, that pond is looking at you like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna throw a damn Pepsi Cola can in my face again? I don't trust this guy. You could feel it. If you can take anything from this podcast, I mean, first of all, I hope it's relaxation. Second of all, I hope it's some good chuckles, some laughs. I don't even know if I'm funny anymore. I can't tell if I'm funny or if I'm a comedian or if my brain is just broken. I think it's more the latter. I think my brain is broken and now I just talk into a microphone while trying to stay sane, but it's too late. If you take anything from this podcast, ponds are watching us. Ponds are a giant, beautiful, not giant, but they're glorious, beautiful ecosystems full of rich life, and they look at us like, this guy's got his boots on, his Timberland boots on, he's going to stomp around in the muck, and he's going to drop like the plastic wrap that covers the cigarette pack on me. He's going to throw a crushed can of Coca-Cola in my face. He's going to take a whiz where a bunch of like beautiful frogs live. These guys think the whole planet is theirs. That's it. They think the whole planet is theirs. They just traipse around. I don't want this to get too negative, but that wasn't me talking anyways. That was a pond. But I also don't know if I'm being funny anymore. I can't tell if I've broken my mind and I can't come back or what. I mean, we live in times, I don't know, I hope you listen to this in the future in a different time. And it's not during quarantine, and it's not during riots and protests everywhere, and it's not during authoritarian dictatorships taking over. I want you to listen to this, and I want this to be timeless. But right now I have to admit that I am a comedian by choice for the last 20 years, but I really don't understand how being a comedian helps or means anything anymore. It seems meaningless, it seems dumb, it seems selfish, narcissistic, ego-driven, egocentric driven, whatever. Wolfman just jumped on my bed. I don't know about this episode, if it's helping you relax or if it's more cathartic for me to just chat to nobody in a box. Well, I shouldn't say nobody anymore. Wolfman, my cat, just jumped on the bed. So am I lying on my bed talking into a microphone to a cat for real? Let's try to settle down and disappear and go into another different place. Let's say that just a few of us, you and I, we actually did get to come back to planet Earth after the vegetation and the natural animal life has taken over again. Kind of like Planet of the Apes, but there's no apes. Planet of the vines. Planet of the moss. Planet of the grass. Planet of the luscious plantation. Plants just growing all over buildings, ripping the concrete foundations apart, crumbling. Giant trees, giant forests, giant rainforests in the middle of cities and stuff. Like, I don't know, that'd be so cool. And like, you and I were just walking around there being like, can you freaking believe it? This used to be a Starbucks. Oh, I could go for a Starbucks right now. Dark roast Pike Place. Don't think about it, don't even think about it. Just breathe in and feel the craziness that Starbucks is gone or something, and just look around this animal planet, this massive jungle forest planet. It's wild. Let's enjoy it. What do we eat? I don't know. What do we drink? I don't know. I didn't learn any skills back in the olden days. All I learned to do was tweet wry jokes and play Nintendo Switch. And eat my favorite delicious foods. Well then, obviously in this giant new jungle forest planet, we have to go find some nice foods, and so you're traipsing along in awe, looking at all this giant growth and all this fresh, and the mist, it's got that sort of like mist spray, like, at the vegetable section of a grocery store, that kind of like mist, and like you're walking through it and you feel fresh and the air is crisp and you can smell all the plant life and the vegetation. You hear animals making noises, birds making noises. You're actually two people, me and you, in this jungle forest that has taken over a city. And we're looking for what? Like a bag of cheesies? Or a bag of chips? Or like some sort of takeout box with chicken and rice and vegetables all neatly placed into their little ramekin-style dipped areas of the takeout box. This one's for rice, this one's for chicken, this one's for two vegetable options. Broccoli and cabbage and some peppers and onions. And you mix it all together with hot sauce. Can I get hot sauce? Extra hot sauce? Yeah, it's over there. Lucky. I'm lucky. We're so lucky. We spent years having someone dish a full course meal out into a takeout box for us without even thinking twice. We wouldn't even look in their face. We would take it from them. We'd take a full course meal in a cardboard takeout box and we wouldn't even look the person in the face. We'd say thank you, but we'd be looking at our debit card as we'd be putting it back in our wallet. Thank you so much for the full course meal, just scooped on up. Now we're in a forest jungle planet. I can't find a damn takeout, nothing. I'm gonna pick a bunch of leaves and fruits off of this tree and hope that it's not poison, or I start tripping my balls off and think that I'm freaking insane. I don't know what to eat. I don't know what a future orange entails. It could be a poison ball. A orange freaking poison ball. What am I supposed to do? I don't know anything. I can't even sit and have a coffee and talk about a damn book because books don't mean anything anymore. Is this relaxing for you? I swear I have a premise to this podcast, and I'm going to stick with it. So, let's get into the relaxo zone. But I like being in the jungle forest backdrop. It's really, to me, it's, like I said, romantic. It's beautiful. It's comforting. It's wild. It's free. Freedom. That feeling of freedom. True freedom, you know what I mean. It's invaluable. We have freedom, but you know what I mean. Skinny dipping in the middle of the wilderness freedom. all alone, Anyways, we're walking through the jungle forest, and we find this kind of couch made out of like a soft web. These couch chairs, let's say chairs, they're almost like in the shape of souped up Honda Civic leather chairs, but they're made out of this silky sort of web, maybe like a giant spider spun them for us. There's a giant spider overhead in their thick overgrowth, and it's spun these sort of comfy, almost Honda Civic interior looking seats. And we sit on them and we go, oh my god, this is the most comfortable I've ever felt. And we sit there and we flex our butt cheeks left and right. Ooh wee! I'm genuinely, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. When I first came back to this future present and I saw, what has happened with the planet and, the cities and civilization, I was freaked. I was like, what? Where am I? How am I going to survive? What happened to everybody? Everything's gone. I can't believe it. But you got to admit, these chairs on our butts, I am so comfortable. I am loving it. I am what McDonald's would say, loving it. R.I.P. McDonald's. And then the giant spider comes down from the web and lands right in front of you. Basically, my podcast has just turned into me making a modern version of Little Miss Muffet. No. But a giant spider comes down, dangles right in front of you on the web. And to your surprise, and the spider is cool. It's not like a giant tarantula. It's like this multicolored what's the word? Neon multicolored, like the color of different highlighters, like bright, shiny yellow, orange, blue, just neon colors, all in a swath, like different swaths, like speckles, and it's like there's no uniformed arrangement to how the colors go. It's just like a psychedelic tie-dye neon spider, and it drops with these glowing yellow eyes. And you're like, freaking out because we're sitting in these giant, silky spun, soft Honda Civic interior chairs. And we're like, and then we're in fear. And then the spider goes like this. Oh, you like those chairs, huh? I made them, please. And it takes all 8 arms. And it moves them as a gesture of kindness and invitation. Then all 8 arms move in a gesture of kindness and invitation and say, oh, please enjoy yourself for as long as you want. Stay in the chairs. I don't mind that I spun them for anybody else to enjoy the comfort. Welcome to the modern, overgrown forest jungle version of planet Earth. It's a lot more accommodating. All creatures here can speak and they share love and unity with everyone. And I'm going to go back up in the tree because up top of the forest because I left some stuff up there that I need to get done. But I wanted to say hi. My name is Andrew and I got to go back up. So if there's anything else you need, I actually fully enjoy spinning silky comfy furniture. Anything, let me know. And then the giant psychedelic neon spider named Andrew takes off up into the trees. And then you and I are sitting there looking at each other like, okay, I can get used to this. So there you go. We started in a kind of rough place, but I hope that people that listen to my podcast regularly, one, I love you. I love all people. It's hard right now, but I love all people. But I love you for listening to this and spending your time with me. It means so much. I hope you understand where I was coming from in the beginning. we're going through a hard time, and it means a lot to me, as it does, of course, countless and numerous, so many people. It's a big deal. So I'm glad you came with me on this ride today. We're going to try and make it work all the time. Try and find time for peace for ourselves. We never give up hope. We never give up fighting, but we have to find peace for ourselves when we can, just to refresh, and get silly and get loose. So thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. I appreciate you checking out the Patreon interviews. There's more special coming up on the Patreon very, very soon. And I love you for sharing it on Instagram and Twitter and rating it and reviewing it on iTunes and podcast players like that. I really appreciate it. So it means a lot. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me tweet at me. Let me know, this future jungle forest planet with the overgrowth. Please let me know. Do you think that's cool? Or do you think I've gone too far now? I don't know. I think it's cool. But this is what I'm going to leave it on. So thank you so much again for tuning in, episode 7. And I'll talk to you soon. Go outside if you can. Stay safe. And look up at a tree, pat it on its back, and give it a smile and say thank you so much for everything you do. Look up at the sky. Enjoy the sky as it is. And I'll talk to you again. Okay? Thank you. Bye.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network.